Hi, I'm Mike from Ontario Speed Dating. Today is a ridiculous day. Well, I'm a little sad because Cause and Effect, which is a bar that's been running in Hamilton East End for a while, it's got to be at least a couple years now, if not more. Well, I just found out from a former customer that the whole business is closed. Yep, no more Cause and Effect. So, how to refund those people? Or I might have to move one to another event depending on what the other person says. But anyways, today's main topic is scams. Because I had this one person was absolutely ridiculous. Why? Well, I'm not going to release names or anything, but what this person did, 6 days before sales have closed, this person decides to buy a ticket to one of my events. Okay? Then, sales closing date has reached. Couldn't run one because I didn't get enough people. And because she has said no word to me and she had made her order express order, the account says I'm going to refund the order. And that's what the terms and conditions say. Okay? Now, say a couple hours or so after I process the refund, she decides to vent. She decides to go on I could call it a rampage. Sure, we'll call it a rampage. She decides to go on a rampage, starts to get all crazy, claims that I'm performing, and she puts it in capital letters, scam, because I didn't give her the amount she wanted back in a refund, and because I just did a refund instead of an event transfer. But the fact of the matter is, what am I supposed to do? I have to do something, so that's why I put it down in the terms and conditions that I'll be doing a refund on express orders. If you say nothing, then you place your order. I mean, it's the reasonable thing to do, because who knows if my next customer is going to be a real person or a robot, right? I mean, I'm sure AI could screw over any system if they tried hard enough, and regardless of what security measures are in place, somebody might defeat them. So, I mean, that's how crazy it is. And sometimes I get no words at all when I do the proper refund. And I'm talking about the refund with the high fees that this person has experienced. And why do I charge high fees? Like I said in multiple videos in the past, I charge high fees when you buy a ticket, you want to exit so quickly, and you want your money back if the event doesn't run. And why do I charge high fees for that? Because I'm trying to run events. I'm not this company that just wants to be a savings account for one day. No, I'm not your savings account. I'm trying to run events. I'm trying to have people to run events, not have it where I have one person for one day and then they disappear, and then have another person for one more day and then they disappear. No. If I had it where people say, yes, I want to try again, I want to try again, I want to try again. If I had a whole string of people that said that, then I could bunch them all up together, possibly with their permission, and then I can run an event. But no. All people want is, I'll go in, and if it doesn't run, I'll get a refund. That's the way they think. Like, that's what they want, actually, not what they think. That's the way they put it down. And what's even more crazy about this person calling me a scammer, which is the way I take it, what's so crazy is that she doesn't even say a word until after I refund her. Like, before the sale, she never said a word. Between the sale and the refund, she never said a word. She says absolutely nothing until I refund her. And then after the complaint, I was just basically explaining why the refund is the way it is and all that. And then you know what? She goes on crazy again. She's like, oh, don't talk to me again. Okay, well, person, I will respect you. If you don't want me to talk to you again, I can respect that. I mean, the whole order deal is done, and fine, I won't talk to you again. I can respect that. But in terms of the refund, I'm not changing the amount, because you've signed an agreement, and that's final. And if you think I'm ridiculous, well, look at my competitors. I've even have it on my website. There's a couple of local competitors that don't even want to do a refund at all. Competitors like Happy Hours, they have it on their frequently asked questions page on their home website that they don't do refunds because, it's a last minute, something about last minute, but it's in their frequently asked questions. So Happy Hours don't want to do refunds. And then there's also Single in the City. They put down they don't do refunds if there's another event that's in your city or something like that. And then there's also 25 Dates out of Toronto, which says they don't do refunds if you're asking for one within 5 days before the event sales close. So your options with the other guys are limited for a refund after the event cancels. But for me, I'll still refund, but you have to understand, these high fees aren't designed because I want to just hurt people. They're designed because I want to actually get some events going with the people. Okay? So, those of you who think of me as just a ATM of some sort, or just like your personal savings account where I hold on to your money and I give it all back to you, no, I'm not that. And if you think Eventbrite's the only source to go for everything, you're going to be screwed on that too, because there's been new reports of new scams, even with them. Heck, there was a report about, 30 or so people that wanted to go into some running marathon of some sorts in Toronto or Mississauga. I forgot what it was, but it was invented by this Mississauga man, young guy. I think his name's Lee or something. So he put up all these events on Eventbrite, put some AI touches to his descriptions and pictures or whatever. Then he managed to sell tickets to a whole bunch of people and then scam them all off. So basically, like for example, he sold, 30 tickets? No. Yeah. One ticket for one person, 30 people. Yeah, so he sold 30 tickets, $30 each, $900. So all those 30 people met at the point where the organizers had to meet for the running event. And guess what? It didn't happen. So only one person called out on it. And I guess some people were requesting refunds, but then Eventbrite didn't help. Eventbrite, they just contact the organizer. If you go to Eventbrite for help, they're just going to tell you, contact the organizer about their refund terms. Because when you think about it, Eventbrite, it's just a third-party platform. All they do is they help some organizers perform ticket sales. They're like your third-party bank, if you want to call it that. Because with Eventbrite, every time somebody buys a ticket through your organization on Eventbrite, Eventbrite holds on to your money. And they do so until 3 or 4 days after the event ends, and then Eventbrite deposits it into your own bank account, which they have a record of. Okay? That's how Eventbrite works. Eventbrite is not the same as your own organization. Whereas with me, I have my own website. Eventbrite's not my website. Eventbrite's just there because that's where the people are, and I want to get some more customers so I can actually run some events, and maybe if more people can stop being so single and want to get together with other people instead of complaining so much, then we'll have a much better generation where more people get together, more people can have babies, more people can have families, and then odds of people paying stuff would be much easier because there's 2 people that could pitch in money instead of 1. Get what I'm saying? I know, it's a crazy day for me because that particular customer that I explained in detail has made it crazy. But in the end, you better start reading your terms and conditions if you want to buy something, like some service from some website, okay? And let me tell you, if you're going to get into the act of not reading anything and just buy, then whatever consequence comes to you, you're going to have to learn to accept it. Especially when it comes to getting an apartment. If you get an apartment, landlord's going to hand you an agreement right away that you got to sign. That's the thing, because if you don't sign that agreement, you're not getting the apartment. And part of that agreement is oh, you're going to have to lose this much money a month for rent, whether you're in the apartment or not. So take this as a lesson. If you think my terms and conditions are ridiculous, even though the amounts I charge are ridiculously small compared to what a landlord would charge if you break their agreement, if you think I'm that ridiculous, well, good luck. That's all I gotta tell you. That's all I gotta tell everybody for this video today. Just, whatever you do, just read. It will help you in the end. That's it. Bye-bye.